These antagonists are calling the collective fearless. You bright and shining stars and suns are out there just being you. They're talking about Andromeda, which is an Ethiopian princess of Greek mythology, rescued from a monster by Perseus. They say ruler of men, which is hinting at her power. It's also a northern constellation south of Cassiopeia between Pegasus and Perseus. The antagonists say that you have a military. And, in previous, months ago, these ones in the astral were desperately searching for the princess who had the keys. Interesting how it's all tying together. There's something about obstacles. So these ones, or at least this curator has his little masculine infiltrating terrorist buddies. They feel they own humanity and the energy that they produce. They love to tell lies and cause them to hate each other. He's not going to go for that, someone said. These misogynists are talking about someone who likes infidelity, someone who is lustful, or the desire to seed these thoughts into someone. They're calling this him or her an illuminator. So they went to seed them with lustful tendencies. They're talking about an African. Is talking about a magistrate who is a judge or someone who administers the law. They have limited authority. These narcissists are infiltrators, and they're very concerned about your energy. They're here toxifying everybody through injections and through poisons in the food. They spray the air with unknown substances, and you inhale it through the vapor. They have shut down the human being in every way possible to keep them in low vibration, to keep their lights dim so that they can control the output. They're very concerned about you. They're talking about plasma. Last night they said that they or somebody is high right now. So they're in the mental body and testing the energies of people. Some people are high, and then they get their minds open up and they connect to the divine or to other energies throughout the galaxy, cosmos, universe, whatever you want to consider the all that is. There's something about playing behind the scenes. So it's like they gain access to these minds, these high minds, and then they play there behind the scenes in that mind. And then it sounded like somebody said, I love you, I understand. That was coming from the left side. Take it as it resonates. Somebody is asking about the comparison, the similarities, the dissimilarities. They're searching for their much needed sacrifice. They need to go after the strongest and brightest one, the most powerful. They need the tissue of one who has done it, climbed up out of the valley of the shadow of death, risen up, that tree of life thing in the Hebrew, whatever, and connected to the heavens. They need those powerful gifts. They need that powerful psychic ability. They need that telekinesis, and they need that connection to the heavens and the gnosis. There's something about time in prison, which is confinement, a conviction, and a sentencing by a court. Earlier, they were talking about the magistrate. Apparently, arrests are about to happen. This curator is telling his masculines which one is the favorite. They're going to go after the strongest, and they're going to try to trap their powers and their gnosis so that they can fool humanity into believing that they are the chosen ones of the Most High God. One of these are asking if she is apologetic. They may be asking if she's accepting apologies. Then I began wondering about patterns of Apollo, who is a Greek and Roman god, god of the divine distance, who sent or threatened from afar, who made men aware of their own guilt and purified them of it, who presided over religious law and constitutions of cities, who communicated with mortals through prophets and oracles. Even the gods feared him. His forename, Phobos, F-P-H-O-B-U-S, Phoebus, means bright or pure. He was connected with the sun, Helios. Somebody was saying to get by. They're concerned about their future. They're concerned about family distribution. They need the merchandise of these earth angelics, of these shining bright ones that are connected to the true Most High God. It's like they're getting ready for war. It's any time now. They're planning to target the strongest and most potent ones. They're choosing whose family will receive their gifts upon capture, death, or sacrifice. They need to obtain the merchandise of these powerful earth angelics, gods and goddesses, those who embody the essence of the sun. They're very hopeful of capturing this energy for their family. They're talking about mushrooms. They could be talking about the psychedelic mushrooms to open up the pathways of the mind. Someone is asking this curator how another processes normally. It's about people's energy production. They want to purchase it or gain it, but they need it to be natural. And this foul POS, they're trying to sell them off now. But he broke down this magnificent structure and nobody really wants to buy it. Many refuse to fall and to stay in this dark place, to be trapped. They use the assistance of Mother Nature and her medicines in order to heal and rise in their light body, in their energy body. And there are complaints that it's not natural. He thought that they could trap them, and he failed. And now no one wants to buy the damaged goods, operating abnormally. So again, they're asking how somebody processes normally the things going wrong. They're jealous and they want to mimic you. So then last night, there was something about a Stargate. The curator was prepping on the 18th, and it appears as though there has been a departure of those who supported him in this fight. There was somebody leaving the other day, and they were wishing him luck with everything. So it's like this is the end of the battle and the beginning of sentencing. They can't change the outcome of their future or past or experience, nor ours. There was some talk of Christine or Christina was mentioned. Somebody showed me the word tired in capital letters, and it was red. Now, in May of last year, as my mind was still under heavy verbal and energetic attack, I was still being heavily mind RAPED. I saw in capital letters the words fed up in white lightning, and now I see the words tired in red. So this person is battle weary. It's been an entire year and they're still alive, so yay. I'm very happy about that, but it's time to heal and to recuperate. There was some masculine talking with a curator this morning about an indentured servant or somebody being one. And they're talking about piercings. Now, some time ago, you know, I had lots of visions of my beautiful divine sisters in battle, you know, and being captured. It wasn't my purpose to go fight. I was there gathering information. So it's like I would pop in, I would see what was being done to them, and I would take the information back to whomever needed it, right? Is that type of a person, I guess. So I saw them hanging by their hands, you know, from the ceiling. And then I heard one get right in my living room, get GANGRAPED. I heard it all. And then after it was done, it went on forever. And then after it was done, I saw a vision of her seated naked on a bench there. She was swollen in the mouth. It was terrible, guys. And they were piercing her nipples before they sold her as this slave. There wasn't anything I could do, but she saw me and she stoically straightened her spine, and she was very, very strong. Very, very strong. Anyway, it appears as though somebody, perhaps named Christine or Christina, is now an indentured servant, and then she's being pierced like this, apparently. So then I had a dream experience. I was at a big table and I had a big old stack of 1913 coverweight stock that had been die cut into cards. So as I was sitting there, I was kind of going through the stack and I was punching out a card here and punching out a card there and making myself a little pile of cards, what looked to be tarot cards. Two men came and they sat across from me on this table. They were talking to me about what I was doing, and I told them that I was just pulling cards now and that I was going to read them later. So I stood to ask a coworker that was across the way if he would come and move that big stack of paper for me. And I turned and looked back around, and one of those two men had picked up my stack of cards before they had been punched out, and they were moving them. They were walking away with them. So I realized, after thinking about this, these two men were there in this space and time to steal my gnosis, to attempt to take my spiritual communications. This may have happened before, but these ones were led down a path of incoherence. That's what Bast said, who I'm thinking was Bast. And maybe that was my purpose, was to be there so that they could get these things and then be led down a path of incoherence yet again. And then I heard sold just this morning, like maybe 15 minutes ago, sold. Christina sabotaged herself. So this is like somebody who was here trying to pretend as though she was the bride of Christ or Christ herself. And she has been discovered and sold into the slavery that she wanted all of our divine feminine to be sold into. On the way to work this morning, I saw a license plate that said Artemis, Artemis, which is goddess of the hunt. She is the twin sister of Apollo, and she loves the wilderness. The other day, this curator and friends were wondering if a feminine was apologetic. So she could be, whoever this person is that they're wondering about, could be Apollo, here with us now. And then just yesterday, I believe, I saw another license plate just cut right in front of me, and it had BAST on it. So Bastet is here also.